Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to show you guys my ballast setup for my Kubota L3800. Okay, so here's the thing. You got a front loader on your tractor. Okay, the arms and the bucket just by themselves weigh about 1,000 pounds without anything in it. Okay, so if you put, once you load this thing up, you're basically adding another 1,500 pounds to it. So what that does is it puts a lot of stress on your front axle over here. Okay, so if you're using your tractor without ballast in the back, you got all that weight going on your front axle, which is going to damage it. So that's why you got to weigh down the back to counterweight it. So here's the thing: if you look at the tires over here, right? These tires are filled up about 75% with a mixture of some type of liquid inside. All right, and there's a couple of different types of liquids that can be used. I had these done by the dealer, but I've heard of people using a mixture of water and antifreeze. Okay, so that's the first thing you gotta do. You gotta fill up your tires with some type of a liquid. If you don't, right, if you got absolutely nothing in the back, what's going to happen is when you go to lift up something heavy, okay, the wheels in the back are pretty much going to come off the ground. Okay, so so you've got like absolutely no stability. You could potentially flip the tractor over forward. So the first thing you got to do is you got to get some liquid ballast inside of your wheels. Okay, now that is not enough. Okay, because that's what I originally had. And I was able to do the front loader work without the tractor tipping forward or the wheels coming off the ground, but there still wasn't enough pressure in the back. So what would happen is I would lose traction, right? So if I was, a lot of times if I was trying to, like if I was trying to move through some type of mud or something like that, or loose dirt, I would lose traction without, because it just wasn't enough weight on the back. Okay, so I ended up putting about 500 pounds of ballast in the back, and now the tractor runs really good and balances really well. Now, originally, what I did is I had this 3/4 inch bar that you see right there, and I ran that directly through the 3-point arms back here. Okay, that's before I had the quick hitch attachment, and I had it locked in with these collars. The problem with that is that every time you want to put something else on the back, you gotta basically strip off the weights one by one off of the bar, because that's the only way to get it off, right? Because the bar passes through the enclosed holes of the 3-point arm. So that's a real pain in the ass getting the weights in the back on and off. So with the quick hitch, what I'm able to do is I'm able to easily set it up, right? You can see how I got a bushing there, right? Because basically I didn't want the bar going directly onto the hook there, so I set it up like that. And what that does is it makes it easy for me to back up, hook up, all right. And then when I don't need the weight, let's say I want to hook something else on the back of the tractor, like a mower or something else, I can quickly unhook and put on whatever else I need. Now, here's the thing. Remember what I said earlier about needing to fill up the wheels, because if you're doing, let's say you're just doing plowing or you're doing some other type of work, all right, if you don't have your wheels filled up, what's going to happen is, again, you're going to lose traction, because you can't just put the weights on the back and say, okay, fine, I don't need to fill up my wheels, because once the weights come off, if you put something else on the back, again, you're losing traction, and that's the big thing. Tractors are all about weight. Okay, not so much about horsepower. Okay, because you can have two tractors that weigh 5,000 pounds, and one, let's say, is a 20 horsepower tractor. The other one's a whatever. Let's say a 45 horsepower, right? But if they've got the same weight, right, they're gonna be able to more or less pull do the same thing, right? They're both gonna, if they're both 5,000 pounds, they're both gonna work like 5,000 pound tractors. The one with the lower horsepower, right, it might be that in order to do the same work, you have to do it in a lower gear. But to copy what Ted at everything attachment said, you know, a 5,000-pound tractor is going to pull like a 5,000-pound tractor, right? Likewise, a 2,000-pound tractor is only going to pull like a 2,000-pound tractor. Doesn't matter how much horsepower you've got in it. You can have, let's say, 100 horsepower in it, but if the tractor's not heavy enough, it's not going to be able to, you know, to press into the ground and you know, and apply that force. Okay, so that's why, you know, you got to get as much weight on the tractor as you can, and you want to have it counterbalance. So this is a really cool setup that works really good for me, especially with the quick hitch attachment. You can see how I've got, you know, I'm using these 3/4 inch collars here. Now these collars came with the Allen screws, which strip really easy. So I took out the Allen screws and I just put in the, I just matched it up to the hex screws, which I'm able to, you know, like really tighten up. You know, I don't have to worry about stripping those off as I, you know, I can crank down on them. As you can see, I got 3 of them there, because as you're moving around, the weights are going to want to shift back and forth, left and right. So you really want to get that locked into place. The only thing about this setup, right, when you're using the quick hitch, it brings, well, it's a good thing, and it's a really good thing, and is, you know, in terms of it brings your weight out another 6 inches. So basically it amplifies the counterweight. So the further out you come, right, the further back you go, the more effective your counterweight is, right? So by pulling the weights out another 6 inches, it's like I've added another 100 pounds of weight. But the bad thing about it is that it's, you know, the PTO, right, that little thing over there that you attach your mowers and your tillers and all the other stuff, right, that thing over there is now, you know, 6 inches further, and you got to basically reach in there, and now you got to get through this, you know, you got to get through the quick attach over here. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of getting some type of a PTO extension to bring that shaft a little further out so I can access it a little easier. So that's something I'm still looking into. So anyway, I hope this video was useful to you guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.